On the 13th day of Kurukshetra, something happened that the Mahabharat rarely lingers on. 7 legendary warriors circled one 16-year-old boy, breaking every law of Dharma yuddha to kill him. They never tell you that part. They never show you how injustice became the spark that set the entire war on fire, how the screams inside that spinning mace would echo across history. His name was Abhimanyu, son of Arjuna, nephew of Krishna, born into a lineage shaped by divine destiny. Even as a child, he carried a strange brightness in his eyes, as if he already knew he was walking toward a fate larger than life. But his very first lesson in warfare began before he ever saw the world. One afternoon, Arjuna explained the secrets of war to Subhadra, the shifting petals of the Chakravyuha, the dangerous rhythm needed to pierce its deadly layers. His voice flowed through the air like a mantra. Inside her womb, the unborn child listened, absorbing every word with supernatural clarity, as though guided by the very gods who shaped destiny. But then came the moment that would one day decide his life and death. Subhadra drifted into sleep. Arjuna paused mid-sentence. The explanation remained incomplete. Abhimanyu learned how to enter the Chakravyuha, but never how to exit. A half-taught secret, sealed by silence. A missing step that would carve the border between glory and tragedy. He grew under Krishna's watchful eyes in Dwarak, learning discipline and humility. Under Arjuna's guidance, he mastered the bow with astonishing speed. By his teens, he was already a warrior who could stand beside the greatest heroes of his age, radiant with promise. Soldiers whispered that he fought with Arjuna's skill and Krishna's courage. He married Princess Uttar of Matsya, stepping into a new life filled with hope and honor. She saw in him not a prince, but a gentle boy with a fierce sense of duty. But Kurukshetra cared nothing for dreams. It devoured them. And as the war drums thundered, Abhimanyu rode out not as a child seeking approval, but as a Kshatriya embracing destiny. On the 13th day, Dronacharya unleashed the one formation feared even by seasoned generals, the Chakravyuha, a colossal spinning maze designed to trap and annihilate. Arjuna and Krishna, the only two who fully understood it, had been drawn away by the Samsaptakas. The timing was too perfect to be anything except a trap. The Pandavas stared helplessly as the vortex advanced. Thousands were being swallowed alive. No one could break it. No one, except the boy who carried a half-remembered lesson from the womb. Abhimanyu stepped forward. "I know how to enter the Vyuha," he declared. His voice steadied the trembling soldiers around him. Yudhishthir's voice trembled as he asked, "Do you know the way out?" Abhimanyu spoke with honesty and courage. "I know how to enter. Once I break it, follow me. Together we will shatter it." Bhima rode his promise. The Pandavas would not leave him alone. Or so they believed. Fate had already begun tightening the noose. Abhimanyu charged. His arrows screamed through the air as he tore open the first layer, then the second, then the third. Soldiers fell like dry leaves in a storm. His chariot blazed through the maze with a brilliance that stunned both armies into silence. Even Drona, the architect of the formation, watched in grudging awe. But behind him, fate moved with cruel timing. Jayadratha, empowered by Shiva's boon to halt all the Pandav brothers for one single day, stepped into the breach. Bhima and the others were blocked. The path closed. The formation sealed. Abhimanyu was trapped inside the spiraling labyrinth, utterly alone, yet completely unafraid. Still, he did not falter. He struck Ashwathama and staggered him. He clashed with Karna and held him at bay. He defeated Dushasana's son and drove Duryodhana himself into retreat. In his fury, he slew Lakshman, Duryodhana's beloved son. The Kauravas reeled. This was not a boy. This was Arjuna's fire-made flesh. Each step he took shook their pride. Terrified that a teenager was dismantling their formation from within, the greatest Kaurava commanders gathered. Drona, Karna, Kripa, Ashwathama, Duryodhana. Shalya, Dushasana's son. 7 Maharathis, warriors who could each command an army, now converging on one isolated child. Honor was forgotten. Fear took its place. This was the moment Dharma fractured. The sacred rule of single combat was abandoned. 7 attacked 1. Arrows rained like a monsoon of death. Karna struck him from behind, shattering his bow. Another warrior killed his horses. Another killed his charioteer. His chariot collapsed in dust, sparks, and blood. Even the sky seemed to darken. Still, Abhimanyu rose. Weaponless, exhausted, bleeding, he lifted the broken wheel of his chariot and held it before him like a shield of defiance. The earth shook beneath his feet, but his resolve did not. Every breath was pain, every heartbeat a war cry. A lion surrounded by hunters. The Maharathis encircled him. Attacks came from all directions. The wheel splintered under the weight of their blows. Abhimanyu fought until his body could give no more, until strength itself became memory. Yet even then, he looked each warrior in the eye, and none could meet his gaze without shame. And then, in a final act of cowardice, Dushasana's son struck him from behind with his make. Abhimanyu fell. The Chakravyuha stopped spinning. In the center of the dusty maze, silence dropped like a stone. Even the Kauravas felt shame. They had won, but not with honor. They had killed a child who fought like a god. When Arjuna returned at sunset, he sensed it instantly. The camp was silent. No laughter. No footsteps running toward him. "Where is Abhimanyu?" he asked. Yudhishthir told him everything: the trap, the blockade, the 7 Maharathis, the broken rules, the wheel, the murder. Each word tore into him like an arrow. Arjuna collapsed beside his son's broken bow. "I taught him to enter," he whispered, voice cracking under grief, "but I never taught him to escape." Krishna placed a hand on his shoulder. "His sacrifice will shape destiny," he said. "But the debt must be paid. Tomorrow, justice will walk beside you." Arjuna rose, eyes burning with vengeance. Raising the Gandiva, he thundered a vow that shook the battlefield. "Before sunset tomorrow, Jayadratha will die. If I fail, I shall walk into fire." Abhimanyu's death became the turning point of the war, a reminder that Dharma demands a price, and sometimes innocence pays it. The world would never forget the boy who fought like a blazing star. And if this story stirred your heart, if Abhimanyu's courage reminded you of the cost of righteousness, then join us. Subscribe now and step deeper into the Mahabharat's most powerful untold truths.